Welcome to EQTV, the emotional fitness channel. And today I'm going to give you my top 5 strategies how to increase sales like never before, how to really make an amazing connection with that client so you can close that deal. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. I'm Mary-Anne Quezel and I am an emotional fitness coach and performance strategist. And today, as I said, we're going to be talking about the top 5 strategies for increasing productivity, self-motivation and sales. And as an expert in sales capabilities in the corporate world, I can assure you when you apply these, you will increase your revenue, you'll kick your targets through the roof every single time. So the number 1 strategy is when you're going to see a client, you must always, first of all, state your intention with a question. Now, what do I mean by that? So most people in leadership, they see about probably 20 people a week that are trying to sell them something. So you want to stand out. The first thing you need to do is recognize the more we tell, the less we sell, right? So how difficult is it for you to make that really authentic connection? The first thing you must do is state your intention. So it might sound something like, I'm really pleased to sit down with you today so I can show you how I can add value to your business. Is that something that would interest you? As soon as you ask a question, are you interested in me adding value to your business? If I've got something of that much interest, you've just invoked a yes, because nobody's going to say, no, I'm not interested in you adding value to my business, right? So the more questions we ask before we get into our features and benefits about why our company's so great and show them the data, really, really important that you do this. Number 2, the best strategy is then ask them what's their current reality like in this situation. You know, where are people letting them down? Where would they like to improve? What are the, what's the situation they're currently experiencing? The 3rd strategy, and this is going to apply for you as well, you look at what are the obstacles that they're currently facing. And it sort of ties in with the last question. But I want you to look at your own obstacles. In this process, you can go back and say to yourself, what is my goal? What is my reality? What are my obstacles? This is a really powerful technique. I'm going to get to that a little later. So you break down their obstacles, break down their objections, and you ask straight away, what would be an objection for you going ahead today before I present? Oh, I haven't got enough money. Great. So if I show you that it's not going to cost you any money, because if my strategy works, it's not going to cost you any money, it's going to make you money. Does that make sense? Ask another question with a statement. Does that make sense? Ah, yeah, I never thought of it like that. Excellent. Now you've got more and more engagement. You're also increasing their awareness. This is what emotional intelligence looks like in sales. This is what you being really emotionally armed and fit and healthy in that space can really nail the engagement. And when we increase our engagement, you'll increase your close rate. The next strategy, number 4, is find out what their willingness is to either change supplier or move forward in a new strategy. And so how we do that is simply ask the question. So what willingness do you have to look at a new supplier at this time, or actually go ahead with someone that can give you more value? Oh, well, now you've restated the last question before that, which is the value you're going to add. Now you've come back to your intention. So what they will then do is then they'll expand even more, because what you're doing is setting them up for you to present. You haven't even presented yet. All as you're doing is making a lasting impression. So they're going to give you the time of day when you're going to sit there and start showing them your facts and figures. The next thing you want to do is really look at what successes they've had in the past so that you can find out whether they've done a campaign in the past that was a huge success and why aren't they doing it anymore, or find out their great wins that they've had in the past. What was the best experience of this type of service that they've had? Because a lot of people, especially in advertising, marketing, and any sort of campaign platform, they forget about that great campaign they did. And we want to bring it to the front again, put it on the table and show them how we can do it even better, right? So that's really, really important. And once they come up with that, that's like excellent. And now they've given you the content of how you're going to create this great strategy for them. Now let's move over to you. Let's move over to you. As I mentioned briefly just before, let's look at you as a salesperson presenting. First of all, what is your intention? Because I've coached hundreds of teams, small and large, and loads of salespeople and senior level managers, key account managers, all sorts of people in sales. And the one thing I notice, the biggest mistake they make is they go into a sale with no presence or self-awareness, and they just want to make their budget. Now, what happens when we operate through this type of filter is people see it. They feel it, that you're not authentic, you don't care about their business, you just want a sale. So if you're noticing your close rate is quite low, this will be one main reason why it's not happening for you. The second thing I want you to look at is, what is your current reality? And where aren't you taking responsibility for how you're showing up? And what I mean by that is, are you consistently learning? Do you have a daily practice that's going to keep you motivated, feel emotionally healthy? Because emotional fitness is the key to success. So we really need to look at your current reality. A lot of salespeople have super, super high stress, right? And we've got to build that daily resilience. And there's another video that I can post down here about how to overcome your money blocks. And it could be a relationship you're having with limited thinking about how you can really excel. It might be a lack of self-belief. You might be in a job that you really don't like, or you're not even passionate about what you're doing. Now, here's the golden nugget. When we really start the self-inquiry, we start really feeling alive, really coming alive. So there's all sorts of tools and techniques that I can give you here. The next thing is to look at your own obstacles. What is stopping you feeling really excited about getting out of bed every day? You know, do you have some self-worth issues? Do you feel that your boss doesn't hear you, see you? Do you need recognition from outside of yourself so that you can perform? Where are you not doing that introspective work that's going to really build yourself up from the inside out? Because I can assure you, our own limited beliefs is always the backstop, the thing that stops us keep going. And it's nobody's fault. It's the way we were programmed. You know, we were programmed when we were little to get everything from out there, including validation, recognition, I'm good enough, blah, blah, blah. And when we're operating through that space, we're living in an egoic world. We need to take responsibility, turn that cosmic mirror around and say, how can I really empower myself? What am I listening to every day? What are my morning practices? You know, do I exercise every day? Am I eating high frequency foods? Am I looking after myself? Because another thing I noticed, and I can promise you this, 20 years ago when I was full on out there in the market selling back to back myself, and became number one in my positions, I can assure you that I had really bad habits. And so we need not only emotional fuel, we need that really positive energy. Otherwise, our moods will go up and down. The fourth strategy, of course, is your own willingness. You know, what is the willingness that you have to be disciplined? Because every position that you're in is going to be the tapestry of your portfolio, of your career or your resume. So you really want to make sure that you're performing at the best of your ability and unlocking your genius so that you do get recognized, so you can rise up the corporate ladder if that's what you want to do. Or you can learn really healthy disciplines so that you can create your own business, get out there and make it your own. And lastly, what is your success story? And what is your story behind any success blocks that you have? Now, if you want some really good help with this, it's really about breaking down. It doesn't matter really what you're selling. It's about what you're doing in that sale and how you are being in that sale. You know, you want to have clients that you can have a new boss or somebody ring you in 2 years' time and say, oh, look, you know, he or she is amazing. You want client references. You want to build a success portfolio for yourself. Now, this would be the most powerful technique that you could possibly have, because when you can build a success portfolio of clients, then you can say to a new prospective client, look, I can give you some client references to ring so that you know that this is going to work for you, so you know that this is valuable. And when you do that, my goodness, your sales will excel. They'll erupt. They'll go through the roof. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Please like and subscribe, because I'll be posting videos like this a couple of times a week so that you can really live your full potential and be happy to be you. Thanks for listening.